TV.
Welcome to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, and support the content.
Ringo TV.
Era inocente como la ves, se volvió madura, la niñez es por un pobre bobo que le fue infiel. Ya no se enamora, cuenta las veces. La leyenda dice que ahora está bien, que es independiente, se lo merece. Me dicen que nada es muy bien. Aquí bien mojada con tantos peces. Ella quiere gozar, con el rum me dice pásalo. Ella se quiere olvidar del que la traicionó. Ella quiere janguear, olvidarse de ese dolor, poniéndose a farrear a ese puro. La baby quiere curaciones, me llama pa' que vaya ya. Quiere que le cante todas mis canciones, hablando de corazones. El suyo no funciona ya, estamos bien pa' esas relaciones. Sabe lo que quiere, sabe lo que da. Solo en su mirada ves por lo que va. Sale pa' los party bien regular. Entramos a David matando a Goliat. Yeah. Se pone bien hermosa porque son las 6. Es el alma la fiesta y donde uno la ve. Su cara no refleja lo que ella es. Tremenda mujer. Ella quiere gozar, con el ron me dice pásalo. Ella se quiere olvidar del que la traicionó. Ella quiere janguear, olvidarse de ese dolor, poniéndose a farrear a ese puro. Ahora sola está sin más, hacho, pa' que no le pongan hacho. Se hace mucho y en su hacho, déjalo con los muchachos. Ella sabe cómo es, ella sabe que está buena. Se le fue la timidez, está libre esa condena. Yeah. Se pone bien hermosa porque son las 6. Es el alma la fiesta y donde uno la ve. Su cara no refleja lo que ella es. Tremenda mujer. Ella quiere gozar, con el ron me dice pásalo. Ella se quiere olvidar del que la traicionó. Ella quiere janguear, olvidarse de ese dolor, poniéndose a farrear a ese puro.
Black Male Advice TV. You already done know what it is, fam. We provide you with the best content on YouTube. There is no other. Make sure you get the likes up on the video. We got a lot to cover. Yeah. You already done know what it is, fam. We in the building. Black Male Advice TV. Again with another one. Make sure you get those likes up on the video. This is the best channel on YouTube. They already done know that, fam. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and everything is clear. Make sure everything is good. Right? We are dealing with the topic. Was Kevin Samuels' funeral average at best? I have a typo in there, but I corrected it earlier. Was Kevin Samuels' funeral average at best? Sinned never showed up. Or should I say, his friends never showed up. If you're joining in on the show, let's break a couple of things down before we begin. Number one, I am a content creator. I am a professional at what I do. On this channel, we deal with commentary, criticism, and news reporting. If you are viewing my channel, you consent to literally view and hear what I gotta say, whether you agree or disagree. You made the conscious decision to view my platform. And if you didn't want to view based on the title, why are you here? So you have an opportunity to just leave and not waste your time. Because this is YouTube. And on YouTube, content creators produce content for people that actually want to hear the content. So that being said, fam, get those likes up on the video. I need them to match the actual viewership. That way, more people can come on over to the stream. We're gonna be dealing with a lot of different things. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were waiting on me, probably wondering where I am, why I'm not talking about the so-called funeral. Well, you know, I like to sit back and watch everybody else, hear what everybody else is saying, see what everybody else is doing, you know, because this is YouTube. And, you know, a lot of people shared their thoughts, criticism. Some people made a couple of mistakes, a couple of errors. And I want to pretty much talk about all these different things. The title of the video is pretty much clear. Was Kevin Samuels' funeral average at best? Was it? His friends was a no-show. We got to talk about that. Kevin Samuels' friends was a no-show. MTR, where were you, bro? You up in pictures with Kevin Samuels, doing your thing, but for some odd reason, you weren't up there giving a speech about your so-called godfather? So this is what high value is all about. I guess this is what the community represents. So let me get this straight. George Floyd had a better funeral than Kevin Samuels. They took George Floyd out in a gold casket. A lot of people were there. The whole world was watching. But yet, you so-called content creators that claim you Kevin Samuels' friend, y'all weren't there. What's going on? And yeah, Anton was there. Well, Anton is always around to get a photo op. That don't even count. Because see, here in these streets, everybody talk a lot about high value. But what I saw, that wasn't high value, fam. That was low value. And you know what's so interesting about this? I'm one of Kevin Samuels' critics. But seems like me and other content creators have been putting in a lot of work regarding this case. And people seem to get upset about this. Now let me talk to you so-called minions. When content creators are sharing their thoughts and their criticism regarding Kevin Samuels, that is not defined as hate. That is defined as commentary and criticism, right? When Kevin Samuels was on YouTube bashing black women, talking about they'll die alone, right? What was that? See, now we hear the crickets. See, what's interesting about the minions is that it's okay when Kevin Samuels says that black women will die alone, right? It's okay. That's not considered hate, right? But if content creators share their grievances, disagreements, they criticize him, whatever the case is, for some odd reason, we're jealous, we're haters, we got 3 subscribers. These are the typical shaming tactics that we get. No, here on YouTube, content creators, they have a job. Their job is to produce content. That's why you're here, right? So if you didn't want to view what I had to say, surely you wouldn't be here. Now think about this, fam. Think about this. I want you to consider this for a second. I want you to think about this. There are over 290 people viewing this live show right now. More people are viewing this live show than people that attended Kevin Samuels' funeral. Talk to me about that. I want to know. I want to know, how is it that George Floyd had a better so-called funeral than your so-called godfather that was high value? And speaking of high value, I want to talk to his network, because Kevin Samuels talked about how, as a high value man, you are a part of a group and a network. I didn't see that network at his funeral. Where was the network? And I was also watching other brothers' streams regarding this situation. I believe Super Sly 75 made a stream, and he brought up an interesting point. He talked about how when a brother that is a part of fraternity or so forth, the frat brothers, that normally when one of them pass away, there's certain traditions that take place. Why wasn't those traditions exercised at his funeral? I hear crickets. I hear crickets. I don't know what's going on here. What's happening? Where were the frat brothers? Where were all the friends? Where were all the YouTubers? Where were they? And please don't tell me that that so-called funeral was private. That funeral was not private. That funeral was open to the public. Because another content creator on YouTube, if I may, their channel is called Paper Work Party Network. This particular channel was the first channel on YouTube to go live before the actual church. Paper Work Party Network went live on YouTube before anybody. So make sure you go over there and show them some love. They had somebody in the so-called church at the funeral. Now you tell me, if this particular funeral that you can only get in by invite, How could the paperwork party network be in the building? How they get in there? Because it was open to the public. Because every funeral is normally open to the public. And let me also state this for the record. If a funeral is private, if your life is private, let me talk to you. For all you educated people that want to be in your feelings, because we're going to deal with nothing but logic. That's all I deal with. You're a human being, right? You're educated, right? Okay, let's challenge your education. If you're a private citizen, right? You're in the comfort of your own home, right? And it's private, right? You don't want nobody to know what's going on in your house because it's private, right? Why would you be streaming your home to YouTube? If something is private, right? Based on the word private, right? It wouldn't be streamed on the web because we wouldn't want nobody to see, right? So if you're in your home and it's private, the last thing you want to do is forget that your phone is streaming live. That would, I guess it would ruin the whole idea of private, because now I'm able to see what you're doing. So if a funeral is private, right, then there is no need to stream it on YouTube. So to all you so-called fans of Kevin Samuels that was so upset because so many different people were sharing their commentary and criticism regarding the funeral, you over there talking about, oh, we need to get them and we need to do this and we need to do that and oh, no. What's the matter with you people? You know, what's sad in today's culture is the amount of worship that y'all give this man. Y'all literally worship him as if though he's your God. When this man didn't even have the support of his own friends. This man didn't have the support of his own network, his own colleagues, all of these content creators on YouTube that literally got a bag off of his name. This man put these guys in position and none of them showed up in his death. MTR, you got some explaining to do, bro. Why weren't you there? You don't got no excuse. Remember, y'all supposed to be high value men. Y'all can't catch a flight. Y'all don't got the money to get on a plane. Oh, let me get this straight. You couldn't get a suit. That's probably what it is, right? That's what it is, right? So was the lead attorney there? I need to know, was he there? Like, what's going on? Like, you know, you talked about what Kevin Samuels meant to you, right? So why we didn't see you there and why we didn't see you go up to the podium and actually share with the public, you know, what Kevin Samuels meant to you? Wait, I'll tell you why. Because you couldn't monetize if you go there. You couldn't go up there and do what you had to do. Shout out to Ramil, because I believe he was the one that covered that earlier today. And they talked about how the reason why a lot of these content creators didn't show up is because they knew they couldn't really monetize it. They couldn't get a super chat from it. That's why they didn't attend. Isn't that interesting? Where was Obsidian? I mean, didn't Kevin Samuels promote your book on his platform? He promoted your book, bro. The man promoted your book. Where were you? I thought y'all supposed to be brothers. Is this what high value is all about? The man promoted your book. You're out here making money because of Kevin Samuels. You couldn't even fly in. You couldn't even go up there and give a word, last word. Tell him thanks, you know, helping me with my book, promoting me. You couldn't do that. I'm a detractor. I'm one of his critics. And yet I'm doing more work than you guys. I'm literally showing the public. Listen, I'm doing more work for his family than you guys. You couldn't get on a plane. We know you got suits. What's the matter? You couldn't find your cane? Which one is it? See, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because we hear all this talk about manosphere, and I'm not a part of no manosphere, just in case for the record. I'm not a part of none of these groups and cliques on YouTube. You know what I mean? I roll completely solo. One thing that I'm very upset about is that we hear all this talk about black men need to stick together and black men need to work in business and this and that and that. But the truth is, you brothers are really not brothers. You guys are only interested in joining with one another when it benefits you. That's the only time you join together. And also, I want to shout out the Kevin Samuels Roast Network channel. He posted a video clip in a few of his videos with Alan Roger Curry, sharing something regarding social media friends. And I want to talk about that. If you want to check out his videos, you can go over there and pretty much check it out. But I want to talk about what Alan Roger Curry had to say, because it's very true. You actually have no friends on YouTube. I need for all of you brothers to understand that. Like, we really have no friends here. What we have is associates and so forth. In order for you to truly have a friend on YouTube, you would really have to break bread. You would literally have to link up with people, meet their family, meet their children, and really spend time with people to really build. But here on YouTube, there really are no friends. There really are none. And I believe Ramil also covered that as well. Notice how I give people credit. Notice how I do that. You see how I move? You understand how that works, right? What's interesting also is the church that held the viewing of the funeral and so forth, there was hardly anybody there. Probably like 25 people, 30 the most. Nobody was there. A complete disaster, to say the least. So again, I asked the question, was Kevin Samuels' funeral low value? I want to know. Was it low value? Because the Paperwork Party Network channel, they were in the house. They were there streaming live before anybody. So to all you content creators that thought that you were filming and that you were streaming and you were doing this, no, the first content creator on YouTube in these YouTube streets was Paperwork Party Network. They were in the building filming. You see the footage right there? That's footage from their channel. They had a little small box showing the footage from a cell phone. What I did is I enhanced it, took the video piece, increased it, and fit it so that you can actually see. It's gonna be blurry, but you'll be able to see. Nobody showed up for your so-called godfather. To all of my critics, I ask you, why weren't you there? If you loved Kevin Samuels so much, why weren't you at his funeral? Why weren't you there? Why wasn't the struggle streaming attorney there? Why he wasn't there? Why? I'm talking about this guy. Why wasn't he there? Why wasn't that guy there? That guy did not show up to Kevin Samuels' funeral. He didn't. You know what he was doing during Kevin Samuels' funeral? You want me to tell you what he was doing? He was selling books on his platform. He was on his platform promoting his book, telling people to go buy his book. That's what he was doing. He was telling people that according to his book, that he was running some sort of strategy on how to get content creators to focus on talking about him rather than talking about Kevin, which is BS. All that he said is BS. You understand? Because nobody's focusing on him. Nobody don't care about him. He's literally building his platform off of the bones of Kevin Samuels. Do you follow me? That man was on his platform in a video using Kevin Samuels' name, using Kevin Samuels' likeness for the purpose of selling books. But from the same tongue, that same hypocrite is telling people that if you're using someone's name and likeness to make money, that somehow they can sue you. Totally disregarding the fair use doctrine, totally disregarding his own hypocrisy. But he wants you, Kevin Samuels followers, to believe that his best interest is the family. No. You see, that man is not Kevin Samuels' friend. That guy's an associate who was about to do business with Kevin Samuels. He wasn't no friend. No. Because a friend that really upholds Kevin Samuels' legacy would not be all over YouTube chasing around trolls, making crazy videos, talking a bunch of garbage about what you're gonna do to people and all this other stuff, making threats. You would not be doing that if you were truly Kevin Samuels' friends, because Kevin Samuels' legacy says that he didn't worry about detractors. He didn't focus on his critics. He knew that they were talking about him. He didn't like it, but the man had a sense of class. He actually had tough skin, because to be one that have over 1.5 million followers, so much attention coming your way, and yet, for some odd reason, you're able to endure all of the criticism, all of the posts, the negativity, whatever the case is, which comes with fame. That meant that he had a certain way about him that one can actually respect. He really didn't focus his energy on his critics and detractors. That, to me, speaks volumes of a man. But you, sir, you, on the other hand, you're weak. You know how you're weak? Because you're triggered by everything that other people do on YouTube as if though it's your job to control what other people choose to do. No, it's not your job to try to control what other people say or do on a public platform which is designed for you to literally express yourself. See, the truth of the matter, sir, is that you've been hiding behind Kevin Samuels' body. His corpse is on the ground and you're hiding behind him, using him as a shield to benefit your own pockets. On the day of his funeral, when you could have took a flight to go do your part as a friend with the family, instead, sir, you chose to be on YouTube arguing with trolls. You, sir, decided to make a video promoting your book. You weren't concerned with going and see your friend. See, you talk all of this beautiful talk about how much of a friend you were and how much a friend you are and all this other nonsense, but we didn't see you in the building. We didn't see you there. You were a no-show. Now, that speaks volumes of your character, sir. It says that you were not his friend. You see, one thing you can't do is you can't fool so-called black folk that are intelligent. You can't fool us. We can see right through you. We can see through the BS. See, there's a lot of problems here because you, sir, were the one that was running your mouth the whole time. You are the one making all of these threats. You literally live on YouTube. Literally. If we count the timeline of events on YouTube, you really are not running no cases as an attorney. You live on YouTube. Yeah. Because your community section is with post after post after post after post of garbage. Nothing represents Kevin Samuels' legacy. Nothing promotes anything that he does. All we see you doing is trying to act like you are some sort of savior when you're not. See, listen, I need for all of the Kevin Samuels followers and supporters to unsubscribe from that guy. You're not supposed to be following that guy. If Kevin Samuels was granted by the Most High to be raised from the dead right now, and he can actually see what the struggle streaming attorney is doing, he would literally disown that person publicly. He would literally make a video and say, I don't know this man. Literally. This is why when you go to his so-called platform, you constantly see him making and showing video clips of him giving Kevin Samuels a gift of cologne. Let me ask you something, sir. Could it be possible that the cologne was allegedly laced with something? Could it be? Could it be that the cologne that you gave as a gift, right? Could it believe that that may have been allegedly laced with something that could have possibly harmed Kevin Samuels, allegedly? Because see, I'm no fool. You showed that little video clip so many times. I'm like, so what? You gave him a gift. You acting like you're the only person that ever gave this man a gift. Like, what really is going on with that gift? And also, you know, I have to make sure out of respect, you know, we have the fragrance for the evening. I got to make sure that I do this. We have, let me see. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Hold on. What's going on here? I'm not doing this thing right. Hold on a second. Come on, camera, show it. Okay. It's not doing it, man. This is messing up. It's not working for me all of a sudden. Wow. Oh, okay. I think I know how to do it. Tom Ford. I don't know if you can see that. It's messing up. Oh, there you go. Tom Ford, Black Orchid. All right, there you go. Got to make sure we do it right for the, you know, all the people and the fans that are in the background. Because, you know, I'm not high value, so I had to get the sample. You understand? I couldn't afford to get, you know, the expensive stuff because, you know, here on Black Male Advice, we're not high value yet. So we need to make sure that you hit that super chat. All right, let me make sure I put on some because, you know, it might be some ladies, you know, viewing. I got to make sure I smell good through the stream. Right? Shout out to Tales from the Cult. Make sure you subscribe to her channel too. They mad with her too because of her videos. They mad with her because she's putting out truth and they don't like it. And it's unfortunate because, you know, we've been covering this story for so long and everybody been ignoring this. You know, they literally ignore this story, fam, and it's not cool. We have to really open our eyes and realize what's happening before us, fam. Like, serious, man. So, it's a lot of things I want to cover. And let me read her comment. I didn't read her comment. She said, KS funeral was average at best. And his high-value friends did not honor his legacy by passing their respects at his funeral. That's true. That's sad. Only few were there. And the menace was not one of them. That's a fact, man. Look, listen, I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed with the lack of love that was shown for Kevin Samuels at his funeral. Even though I have a lot of humor in my video, I can do that because I'm not his friend. You have to understand, like, I'm not Kevin Samuels' friend. I'm not his relatives. I don't agree with him. I don't agree with nothing he said. He was destroying the black community with his messages. You just don't know that because you don't have the information that I have, right? Telling our women that they're going to die alone, fat shaming them, doing a bunch of other garbage over and over and over. That's not cool. Do you understand me? I don't have a problem with him saying certain things. There's certain things he said that might make sense, but the man was a hypocrite at the end of the day. He's telling you 1 minute, ladies, he's trying to get you to get hooked up with a so-called high-value man, but at the same time, he's teaching brothers how to get escorts. He's teaching brothers how to pay for sexual relations with women. He's teaching that as a man, you have to get a 1099 woman, like literally hire a girlfriend with a contract. Is that what high value is all about? Is that what the black family, does that spell bringing black unity and black love together? No, it don't. So I don't want to hear nobody telling me that Kevin Samuels was trying to bring black love and he cared about the black family and all of that other. That's all a lie. You understand? Nothing at that funeral was real. In my humble opinion, respectfully, that whole entire thing was literally staged. And I'm going to get into a couple of things. Have a little paper list that I have right here. Number one, Kevin Samuels' funeral was open to the public. Kevin Samuels' funeral was open to the public. Nobody showed up. Funerals are normally open. Do you understand me? Yes, you have family there. Yes, you have friends there. But normally a funeral is always open because you don't know who are their friends. And in most cases, your enemies show up to your funeral. At least that's how it is in the hood. When somebody get killed out in the hood, they get more of a turnout. And normally their killers show up at the funeral, possibly to kill somebody else, you know, take out another brother or whatever the case is, right? So the funeral was open to the public, right? How do I know that? Because again, the Paperwork Party Network was in the building. If that was an invite only, because I believe the Anton guy, you know, the guy that sit around in a robe all day? Yeah, that guy, the guy with the Versace slippers. Yeah, the guy that was crying for a man in a video. Yeah, that grown man that was crying. He had to take off his glasses because he knew he was going to cry and he wanted to get that on video so that he can gain some sort of clout and some sort of trust from the people. Listen, fam, if a dude is not my pops or my mom's, you know what I'm saying, a close relative, I'm not crying for them. Do you understand me? You up here crying on camera. Fam, that was all planned. I don't want to hear that you just broke down and started crying. No, you knew what you were going to do. You click record, you knew, and you said to yourself, if I could just show myself with some tears, water up a little bit, I'll gain a couple of those subscribers that are over there by Kevin Samuels' channel. Yeah, that's what you did. See, I can see through it. Okay. Yeah, you showed up at the funeral. Yeah, you did. But where was everybody else? Where were all the colleagues? Where are all the high-value men? Where are all of the network? Where were all the six-figure guys? Where was all the guys in suits? Where were all these guys? Where were all the guys that were donating $500 to Kevin Samuels? Where were those guys? Where were they? You understand? What's really going on? Where were the guys that truly was supporting Kevin? Where they at? And where was the lady with the fake locks? Where was she? You know, the one that as soon as Kevin Samuels was allegedly passed away, she was one of the first people that went live talking about she's calling this and she's calling that. Where was she? Why wasn't she there? Why wasn't she there? Somebody said, well, maybe she was there and she wasn't really saying nothing. Listen, if she was there, she's supposed to go up to the top and actually talk on behalf of her friend. If she was there, she would have to talk on behalf of her friend. But see, they were not there. Nobody was there. Nobody was there. Listen, fam, nobody was there. Y'all think this is a game, fam. Check this out. Check this out. That's an image from inside of the church, from the screen. You see the chairs in the front? Only 2 rows. About 2 to 3 rows. I would say 2 rows have people, and everything else in the back is empty. Empty. Nobody showed up for the high value man. Look, y'all can't see it? Let me see if I can open that up a little bit more. Possibly, I don't know. Let me see. Hold on a second. I don't really want to mess it up, but open this thing up a little bit more. Look, you see that? Ain't nobody there. Nobody's in the house. And you know what's even more crazy, fam? You know what's even more crazy? And Super Sly had pointed this out. It was a closed casket. I'm pretty much everybody saw the video. Closed casket the whole time. Closed casket. Closed. Closed casket the whole time. But you know what's even more interesting? The people at the party, Paperwork Party Network, they have a video where they actually called up. They called up the church and they were asking about, Kevin Samuel's body. They have the audio, everything is there. They asked about the body. A woman got on the phone and said, yeah, he's here. And the guy was asking us something along the lines of, do he have a suit, or should I bring a suit, or something like that? And he said, is he resting in peace? Is he good? And the woman said, he looks good. That would imply that there is a body there. It would imply that. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that there was a body. Follow me. Follow me. Because the person who made that call, they appeared as if though they were a relative, a family member. And I believe the jig was up when the woman asked, did you speak to the mom? And the person said no. At that moment, I believe that the person recognized that this could be anyone calling. So, because you have to think about this. If you're a family member, you wouldn't necessarily just call the church to find out if the body is there. You would call the mom and everybody else to get the inside info. So at that moment, logically speaking, the person could have said anything just to make you think that there is a body when there could have been nobody there. So it could be a possibility that Kevin was allegedly cremated. Allegedly. Maybe not, but allegedly. Why? Because the casket was closed the whole time. Now, you would think that friends and family would be walking around and see the body and all of that stuff and talk and pay their respects, but you didn't see that. So what I'm thinking is, what kind of funeral was this? Was this a boule funeral? Where was his frat brothers? Where were all the brothers? Where were the so-called high-value men? Where were they? Where were all the guys dressed in suits? Where were all the content creators flying out to see what was going on? Where are those guys? Why nobody showed up to this man's funeral? Why? Think about this. The struggle streaming attorney, he made a video or a post, something along that lines, basically giving Kevin Samuels' followers a command, telling them, look, he was like swinging a piece of steak over their head saying, hey, if y'all don't go report people's channels by falsifying information. Now think about this, fam. You're viewing me, you're an adult, right? I would hope to know that you're an adult, right? Think about this. The struggle streaming attorney, right? And in case like you don't know, because you know you have a lot of people that come to the platform and they just don't know who I be talking about. You should know who I'm talking about, right? The man who sinned, right? You see what I mean? So it's very apparent who I'm talking about. This particular guy was on his platform telling Kevin Samuels' followers who are distraught, these fans are hurt because their godfather has passed away, they're very emotional. This particular individual that claim he is Kevin Samuels' friend told Kevin Samuels' followers and supporters to go and report people's channels first. And if they don't do it, he's not going to stream the video and he's not going to talk about the autopsy of Kevin Samuels. That's what he did. Now you tell me, is that a friend? Waving a piece of steak over people's head, telling them, hey, if you don't go do this, I'm not gonna do that. Who give you that right? Who told you to do that? You think Kevin Samuels is pleased by that? No. What you want, sir, and what you wanted is for other people to do your bidding because you're a narcissist. That's why. So if you're a Kevin Samuels fan, supporter, and so forth, don't let some clown put a battery in your back, because that's no different than him giving you a gun and telling you go kill somebody. When you go do that, you're the one going down for the crime, not him. Always remember that. So when we think about these content creators that claim they were Kevin Samuels' friends, these people were never his friends. I will submit to you that the people that are on YouTube are not your friends. Alan Roger Curry made that very clear in a video clip that is on the Kevin Samuels Roast Network channel. If you look at his 3 or 4 latest videos, because he just be roasting all of those guys. They be just getting roasted all day. He have a video clip and you hear Alan Roger Curry talking. And he broke it down very well. And what he said is true. I actually live by what he said in those audio clips. I can't consider anybody on YouTube a friend. A friend? How? Because you're in my chat, because you said what's up? That doesn't make us friends, fam. No. That makes us associates, comrades, whatever the case is, whatever you want to call it. Hey, what up, bro? Cool. Yeah. But until you actually meet me in person, meet my family, break some bread, stay for dinner, meet the fam, X, Y, and Z. How are you my friend? How? So when Alan Roger Curry said what he said, it makes a lot of sense that a lot of these guys in these YouTube streets, they were only with Kevin because he was able to elevate their bottom line. It's just like when you see content creators want to go on other brothers' platforms so they could get some shine. That doesn't mean those brothers are friends with these people, fam. When you see content creators featured on another brother's platform and you're like, yo, so-and-so was on that brother's channel and yo, and you might see them all together talking, chilling, whatever the case is, it looked like everybody's friends. But on the contrary, it's all business. It's all business. It ain't about being friends. It's about business. Here on YouTube, everything is business. So when it comes to these content creators, they were never Kevin Samuels' friends. These guys were just there for the opportunity to get their clout up, to get their money up, to do what they had to do. That's why they didn't show up to the man's funeral, fam. That's why. They didn't show up there because they didn't care. You couldn't monetize being there. You couldn't monetize being there. And I'm going to touch on certain points that was said on Ramil's channel, because he had a panel with a team of other brothers, and they were all sharing their thoughts. So I don't know which one of them was saying certain things, but they were talking about how you couldn't really monetize. You couldn't really monetize if you're there. In other words, by you going there, it would cost you something. I'm not sure if it was his platform or was the Roast Network, because I was watching a couple of videos today. It doesn't matter who, credit to all of those different brothers. But they were talking along the lines of, to go to Kevin Samuels' funeral, you had to get your hotel, you got to pay for your flight, you got to get a suit, right? You got to have money in your pocket, possible donation. You got to rent a car. So when you really think about it, they looked at it like, listen, if I go there, I'm going to lose money. I can't really monetize. I need to shine. I can't gain no subscribers if I'm there. Why? Because most people live on YouTube. And most people are so accustomed to YouTube that the real world is no longer real. This is why the so-called struggle streaming attorney is so worried about you folks. He's not even living his life. He's not even concerned about his own family. He's too worried about what you're saying. He literally lives on YouTube, hunting around, looking at what everybody say and trying to make the fans of Kevin Samuels believe that he is doing the work. When he's not. He's not doing no work. All he's trying to do is gain subscribers. Right now, the struggle streaming attorney have more than 50,000 subscribers. Those are Kevin Samuels subscribers, because before Kevin Samuels passed away, that brother was at probably like 10 or 15,000, somewhere around there. As soon as Kevin passed away, his subscribers just flew up. Why? Because he kept posting every day about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels this, Kevin Samuels that. And he's the same guy that will tell you, oh, don't use my name. Oh, don't use my likeness. But he's the same guy using Kevin Samuels' names, Kevin Samuels' pictures, Kevin Samuels' likeness over and over and over and over. The man made almost $5,000, fam. Almost $5,000 during the so-called mediocre memorial that he pulled. Remember the memorial that when the mom was speaking, he cut her voice? You don't believe me? You want to believe that it was a technical difficulty? No. Go to his video. I double dog dare you to go to his video for the memorial. Go to it. Play the video. Watch when the mom comes on the phone call. You're going to see his hand move and you hear a click and her voice totally shuts off. Yeah. He cut her voice. I'm a music producer. My ears are very, very keen to sound. Not only that, I can read body language. His facial expressions was that of someone that didn't want to hear what she had to say. She didn't want the public, which means on his end, he can hear her. But on the internet side, they couldn't hear nothing. You see what I mean? Again, go to the video. If you don't believe me, go to the video. When you hear the mom talk, she says, yeah, I would like to give thanks to the first responders. And then she was about to speak and you see his hand. If you look at the video, you'll see his hand move and you saw it go down. He's pressing a button. Soon as he went down on his hand, her voice cut off. And normally when somebody's voice cut during a phone call, you hear static, you hear other sounds and different things that gives the effect of some technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi and the signal of the phone. Her voice was totally muted. Why? Why would he do that? And her voice was muted for a long time, fam. Which means she was saying some important things and he didn't want nobody to hear it. Now, why would he be covering up Kevin Samuels' mom's voice? What is he really hiding? What is really going on, fam? What is he really doing? You see, all of you Kevin Samuels followers, as much as I'm one of his critics, as much as I'm one of his detractors and I didn't support his message, I'm doing more work for you fans of Kevin Samuels by reporting on these situations. If that doesn't speak volume to the fact that his friends are not his friends, I don't know what else to tell you. It's crazy, man. Y'all really got to peep the game and recognize what's going on out here, man, because these guys are out here using Kevin Samuels' death to come up. Now, here's what he'll do. Peep the game. The struggle streaming attorney will do things like this. He'll say, well, if I'm out here trying to use Kevin Samuels to make a come up, what about all of Kevin Samuels' haters, detractors, and so? They're making videos about Kevin Samuels making money, doing this, doing that. This is YouTube. That's what we're supposed to do. Do you understand me? This is YouTube. We make content. That's what we're supposed to do. Why are you worrying about people talking about Kevin Samuels making money? We've been doing this from years ago. I've been talking about Kevin Samuels when he was at 70,000 subscribers, before he became the so-called Godfather. Put a 1 in the chat if you were around while I was doing that. Just put a 1 in the chat if you know and recognize that I've been talking about Kevin Samuels before he blew up when he only had 70K subs. Just put a 1 in the chat so that these people that are in the clouds can clearly see that I've been talking about this man before he blew up. Right? I've been warning people about this man. I've been exposing the hypocrisy. This is not new. I got people that come to me, oh, now that the man is dead, you want to talk about him? No, I've been doing this. I keep the same energy. The same way I've been back then is the same way I am now. Do you follow me? See, I'm not like these so-called content creators. I'm not like these so-called content creators that make these tribute videos, right? These are the same content creators that was cursing Kevin Samuels out, speaking negative of him, and all of a sudden in his passing, you want to see them crying, making sentimental videos. Oh, he was so great. I was really cool with him. I didn't like the fact that he passed away. Why are they doing that? Why are they not keeping that same energy that they had before? See, I'm not a hypocrite. I've always been the same. Do you understand me? See, if you actually look at my material rather than being emotional, you'll begin to see what I've been trying to say for so long. I have been warning Kevin Samuels for literally almost 3 years, fam. I've been warning Kevin Samuels for almost 3 years regarding the type of things that he's doing, his behavior on social media, the constant bashing of black women, the constant hypocrisy. I've been talking about this for years. I've been talking about this when content creators were so in support of Kevin, they literally disowned me and was like, oh, who cares about Ringo? I don't want to hear nothing from that guy. He's messing with the Godfather. He's coming against the Godfather. He's messing with our savior. Why? Because black men believe that Kevin was going to be the savior of the black community. That's what they believed, So they put their all into him. Right now, there's another content creator that's calling Kevin a martyr. You know what's a martyr, fam? Kevin ain't no martyr. You understand? To say that Kevin is a martyr is to literally prove what us content creators been trying to say all this time, that he was murdered. Do you understand me? For you to be calling him a martyr, and I believe it's some guy named BGS, talked about how he's a martyr, making a speech about this man is a martyr. A martyr for what? Because if you saying he's a martyr, fam, you basically saying that somebody killed him. So now the question is, who killed him? Allegedly. Who? Who did it? Who did it? Because see, you content creators that have all of this energy, all of this praise for Kevin, why weren't you there at his funeral? Why weren't you at his funeral? Where were all of you fans and supporters at his funeral? Why none of y'all were there? None of y'all were there. It was a complete no-show. A complete no-show. Why? All these people all over social media crying, oh, I don't like the fact that y'all talking about Kevin. I don't like the fact that you're doing this. You're a hater. You're attacking. Let me tell you something, fam. I don't think that y'all understand this. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. Listen to me very carefully. I'm sharing my thoughts and my criticism. How am I attacking a man that's dead? I'm sharing my thoughts and my opinions. You do believe in freedom of speech, right? You do believe in the Constitution, right? I hope you do. Because if you don't, then what you're basically saying is that we don't have a right to share our thoughts. I guess it's only convenient when you want to share your thoughts. So let me get this straight. You can criticize me, but I can't criticize Kevin Samuels. That don't make no sense, fam. I pressed the wrong key. Okay. You want to criticize Kevin Samuels. I mean, what the hell am I talking about? You want to criticize. I want to criticize Kevin Samuels, but if you criticize me, it's not a problem, right? That was crazy, right? Ringo TV bloopers, man. Okay, let's get back to this thing, man. Where my music at? Okay, let's start this thing over. If I criticize Kevin, I'm considered a hater. I'm considered jealous. This is why I've been hearing for over 3 years that I'm jealous. Because I'm sharing my opinion, right? But if you criticize me, that's okay for you. Do you see how that works? You could criticize me, it's not a problem. If I talk about Kevin, that means that I'm attacking him. Let that make sense. That don't make no sense. I'm sharing my thoughts, right? Now, let me get back to my list. No friends showed up. Where was all his friends? Where were all the content creators? Where was the leader turning? Where was MTR? Y'all were in photos with him. Kevin Samuels met up with y'all. Y'all had a photo op together. Kevin Samuels was showing y'all something in Brooklyn. Something about some content creator that was living in his mom's basement. Now they're making mega millions of dollars. He was showing you guys something. My question to you guys is this. Did any of y'all allegedly stole Kevin Samuels' plans? Because the so-called struggle streaming attorney claimed that Kevin Samuels had a plan on how to make hundreds of millions of dollars outside of YouTube. My question is, did you so-called friends allegedly take Kevin Samuels out so that y'all can get rich? I want to know. I want to know. Did y'all allegedly take the blueprint of Kevin Samuels' plans? MTR, where you at? Why you weren't there at the funeral? Why? Why weren't you there? Weren't you Kevin Samuels' friends? Wasn't you talking about how Kevin Samuels meant to you and how you spoke on the phone with him every night and you talked to him and, you know, this is your friend? Why weren't you there to cry on the casket? Why weren't you there? Why weren't you? See, you content creators are fake. Y'all like to come on camera and start shedding tears because you know the camera will catch it. You know you will gain subscribers. You know you will get views and clicks if you literally shed some tears and look emotional. But when it came to his funeral, when it came to you actually proving if you are a friend, you didn't show up. Why? Because you're not his friend. You're not his friend. You see that? You're not his friend. Where were you guys? Obsidian. I don't even know you, bro. But I know that you and Kevin Samuels, y'all was somewhat cool. The man at one point, I still got the video. The man put your book, fam, right on his desk. Listen, let's cut the BS, fam. Let's cut all the YouTube nonsense out right now. Let's talk. The people need to know what's going on. Kevin Samuels promoted your book. For all I know, behind the scenes, that brother probably put money up to help you with that book. Allegedly. For all we know, Kevin Samuels probably put you on, helped you with that book, put up the money, put you in position to make some bread. He had your book on his desk, showing it to his followers, telling his followers to go buy your book. Why weren't you at his funeral? And if you was, allegedly, why you ain't go up there and talk to the people? Because the so-called crybaby Anton, he was in another video saving face talking about how, there were other content creators over there. Well, if there was other content creators over there, why weren't they standing up to go to that podium to talk about their friend? You guys are fake, man. These YouTube streets is full of fake folk, man. This is why I'm telling you, brothers, right now, you really don't got no friends in these YouTube streets, fam. If you die today, everybody gonna make videos about you, fam. If I was to pass away, most high forbid, I can guarantee you, everybody will be making videos, they'll be collecting cash apps, super chats, and everything else. Hey, it is what it is, fam. People still gotta get this bread either way, right? Somehow. I'm just letting you know. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't expect none of these content creators to show up to no funeral of mine. I wouldn't even expect it. So I'm just letting you know right now, don't even waste your time showing up. I really don't care. I'm just letting you, matter of fact, let me say this, fam. Let me just make sure and say this. If I was to pass away, most high forbid, most high forbid. Right? I got a lot of living to do. Right? But I'm letting you know right now, if you see any so-called content creator show up, they're not my friend. Because my friends, they'll be supporting me. My friends would want to know more about me. My friends would be doing a lot to link up, support, do a lot of different things. They'll be congratulating me. They'll be doing a whole lot. Do you follow me, fam? Only those people would be considered my friends. The people that were always there rocking with me. The people that you always see around me. Those are my friends. I'm not saying that if anybody showed up, they're not my friend. Don't get it misconstrued. What I'm saying is, you may have people that may show up that you never seen supporting me. That's a problem. Those people were never my friends. It's just like you have a lot of family that pass away. Sometimes y'all might have an auntie, a mom, so forth pass away, and you see all these people at the place, at the funeral house, and you're like, who that? Bro, who that dude right there? I don't even know who that is. Hey, yo, bro, who are you? You don't even know who that man is. Why? Sometimes they have friends that you may not know. Sometimes their enemies show up. Again, fam, y'all may not want to believe this, but a lot of times your enemies show up to funerals. Sometimes your enemies will show up, fam. Your own enemies will show up to your funeral. I'm just letting you know. Be very careful with that, fam. Even when you have gangs, a lot of times gang members will show up to the funeral so they can see if they can take out somebody else. Yeah, so let me get back to this list, man. Let's get back to this list. So we talked about how the funeral was open to the public. Everybody was supposed to turn out to that funeral, but nobody really turned out. The Godfather, your Godfather, because he's not my Godfather. I'm just letting you know, the Most High is my Godfather. Right? But Kevin Samuels' funeral was open to the public. Anton said that the funeral was private. That's a lie. The reason why, Paperwork Party Network was in the building. Their footage is right on the screen, as you can see. That's their footage right there. That's their footage. Hold on, let me get this off the screen right here. That's their footage of them at the church. You understand? This is their footage, inside footage of them attending the funeral. Now, Anton said that this funeral is by invite only. Well, if it's by invite only, how is it that this person is able to just walk up in there, right? Sign a paper, right? And do what he got to do. Now, again, you sign and you walk in. So Anton, you lied. You lied, fam. That's how easy you get rid of the liars on YouTube, right? Because Anton recently made a video. I think he put out a video either today or whatever. That's not by invite. Somebody just walked in, signed, because normally when you go in, you sign anything, right? All guests, they have to sign. So look at it. This guy's walking right in. He ain't have no invitation. All of that is a lie. It was open up to everybody, right? Anybody that's a friend and so forth. So if you hear Anton talking about, oh yeah, the funeral was, it was private. No, that's BS. It wasn't private. We just proved that right there. The footage is right there. The receipts is right there. You can't argue with receipts, fam. So all of you Kevin Samuels followers, you got to recognize that these are the receipts. Again, shout out to the Paperwork Party Network. So make sure y'all show them some love and give them credit, because they were the first folks on YouTube to be streaming live. If Ahmad is in the building, if it's possible, if Ahmad is in the building, if one of y'all could just type Paperwork Party Network in the chat. That way people can know to go to their platform, because they're the ones who put in the work to get in the building. Now, as you can see, they're in their building. Look, where is everybody? Where is everybody? Look what's going on. Where is everybody? This is the Godfather now. This is Kevin Samuels' funeral, right? We are literally reacting to live footage of Kevin Samuels' funeral. Look at it. Look at that. This is, yo, listen, man. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. He's inside of the house, fam. Inside of the building. But yet, they want to tell you that this thing was, you had to be invited, right? That's what they told you. So why was the struggle streaming attorney, why he was not in attendance? Why he was not in attendance? He got the obituary right in his hand. Clearly says Kevin Samuels, right? It's not going to be clear, because again, if you go to the Paperwork Party Network, they used a cell phone, and the image was super small on their screen. You couldn't see it. So what I did with my, software within OBS, I was able to increase the screen so that you can actually see, This right here is footage, fam. So again, shout out to those folks over there, because they were literally the first on the scene with it. So as you can see, that is your so-called Godfather. That is the obituary. They are inside of the building. Nobody was in the house, fam. Again, the question, was Kevin Samuels' funeral average at best? I need to know. Was it average at best? What's really going on with this? See? This is crazy. Nobody was in the house, fam. Nobody was there. And again, I'm not playing the entire funeral. I'm playing only the footage that they had to prove a point that nobody was there. See, the stream that everybody saw on YouTube that was being streamed by probably 1,000 different people, because you had a lot of people that was streaming that funeral service. It was being streamed all over YouTube by multiple YouTubers. Everybody was streaming it live, because why? They were all trying to get views and clicks. That's what they were doing. But again, ain't nothing wrong with that. That is what YouTube is for. Matter of fact, let's just talk about this. Let's talk about this straight up and down. YouTube is all about getting views and clicks. That's what YouTube is for. You're just making this video because you want views. You're right. because that's what content creators do. We make videos so we could get views. What's the point of making a video if you're not gonna get views? Do you understand me? Everybody that do YouTube, we do YouTube because we want views, we want clicks, we want subscribers, we want to make $1. Do you have it now? YouTube is a business. That's just the way it goes. Just like when Kevin Samuels was here, he was making a whole bunch of money in super chats and everything else, and it was all about views and all about the clicks and all about everything else. What did Kevin Samuels always tell you in every single stream? Get the engagement up, get my likes up, and if you didn't get his likes up, he would play that crazy rock and roll music. Remember that, fam? Why he did all of that? Because he wanted those views. He wanted those clicks. He wanted to get those super chats. Why? Because YouTube is a business. Get over it. Look at that church, fam. Nobody is in there. Nobody is in there. We're talking about the Godfather, the so-called manosphere Godfather that these manosphere guys praised and worship. Nobody was there in his death. Where were all the content creators? Where were all the streamers? Where were all the so-called people that were streaming when he allegedly died? Where are all those folks? Where are they? Think about this, fam. The so-called bootleg, mediocre, so-called memorial that the struggle streaming attorney posted, you had more people tuning in to his so-called broadcast than people that attended Kevin Samuels' funeral. That's bad. That's bad. There's 1,031 people viewing this live stream right now. More people are viewing this live stream than people that attended. Think about what I'm saying, fam. And I'm not the first to say that. So if it sounds cool or it sounds like, wow, that makes a lot of sense, I'm not the first that said that. People were saying that on the so-called paperwork party network. People were literally in there going off. They were like, wow, nobody's in the building. And it's not like, oh, they were there in the beginning and nobody didn't show up. No, they started the show. They literally started. They were literally giving speeches. I'm not going to play all of that stuff. You want to see the so-called funeral thing, you can go there and you can actually view the whole entire thing. But nobody was there. But let's break down a couple of more things. Fam. So we have that it was open to the public, but nobody showed up because the struggle streaming attorney, he didn't give you no information. He gave you everything late. Why? Because he didn't want none of you guys there. He didn't want the cameras there. He didn't want none of you YouTubers to go over there. But the Paperwork Party Network was in the building. They were in the building, fam. See, God is good. God is good. He had somebody in the building to give us the real footage so that we can know what was going on, to see if Kevin Samuels' funeral was in fact high value. It was not high value. It was absolutely low value. You know what I mean? I forgot what the term is called, because I was watching Super Sly's live earlier today, and I think it was Super Sly. I think it was his live that was earlier today, or what was it, today or yesterday? I know I was watching Ramil's. I'm not sure, but they said something along the lines of he had his funeral was like if they took a homeless person. I'm not sure what it's called. He used a certain word. And it was for like a funeral for a homeless person. That's all I can get. I can't think of the word that he was saying off the top of my head. It's a lot of stuff going on. But that was sad, man. That's sad. So the funeral was open to the public. Whatchamacallit, the address was already done given and it was actually given late. The struggle streaming attorney never in fact gave you the address. He just told you what church it is and said that they're going to be streaming it. But remember, he was talking about he was going to do it. You see that? But when he realized that everybody was calling him out, that is when he realized he wasn't going to be able to make no money. Now understand, his goal was to allegedly make money from the live show. That was his goal. But because us content creators was talking about it in advance, he knew He knew he couldn't do that. He knew he couldn't go out there to try to fleece the flock. So he figured out another plan of how he's going to do it. So what he did is he came out and he said, yeah, the funeral will be at such and such Baptist church, blah, 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 blah. And he took over 45 minutes to actually say that. Those of you who viewed his video, you would know. In the beginning of his video, he kept talking about content creators, trolls. He was talking about this content creator, what that person said, a bunch of petty nonsense. Rather than giving Kevin Samuels fans what they came there for, he was focused on petty stuff. Imagine this. A so-called guy claiming he's Kevin Samuels' friend is focused on trolls. And first of all, respectfully, content creators are not trolls. These are professional people that do videos on social media for the entertainment, education of the public. They are not trolls. Content creators are not trolls. We are people that share our thoughts, criticism about various issues. We're actually the new media of society. People watch us on YouTube more than they watch the mainstream media, believe it or not. And this is something that a lot of people had a problem with concerning Kevin Samuels, because he was getting numbers that was greater than networks combined. It's true. So his friend, the alleged friend, because personally speaking, I don't believe that guy was ever Kevin Samuels' friend, because again, on YouTube, everything is about business. So if I'm linking up with another content creator, we might be cool, right? Cool. But friend? No. In order to establish a friendship, there has to be a covenant. Matter of fact, I'll go as far to tell you, the word friend is a covenant word. Any of you folks that actually follow the scriptures and the Bible, you would know that being someone's friend is a covenant word. You have to be a brother, a real brother, you understand, to be considered a friend. So don't go around there calling people your friend when y'all haven't really broke bread. Now, the struggle streaming attorney was threatening people, saying if you don't go report other people's platforms, I'm not gonna stream, I'm not gonna share the autopsy with you. Another woman on YouTube, I don't have her name before me, but if you go to my community section, there is a woman who made a video in total disgust about the struggle streaming attorney. She made a video basically calling out the BS in a respectful way. Now, the woman allegedly knows the family of Kevin Samuels. This is a older woman, and she saw what the struggle streaming attorney was doing, and she made a video about it. And boy, was it timely. When you get a chance, check out her video. Again, it's in the community section of my platform. You can go there and you can find it. She basically was calling out the fact that this guy was waving over Kevin Samuels fans and supporters, waving a chicken bone or something, by telling them, look, I want y'all to go do my bidding, my evil bidding. I want you to go report everybody's channels that's talking about Kevin Samuels because they're hating Kevin Samuels. No, nobody's hating Kevin Samuels. People have a right to report the news. Just like when content creators report the news, just like when the lead attorney is reporting on a court case, right? He's reporting. He's sharing commentary and criticism. Just like when you are publicly criticizing Kevin Samuels' detractors, you're doing the same thing. But yet you feel that we don't need to have a voice. I keep pressing the wrong damn thing, fam. This is crazy. I wonder if somebody gonna make a reaction video with that, fam. Ringo pressed the wrong sound effect. I have so many of these stream decks in front of me. Sometimes I press this one, I'm thinking it's the camera, and it's not the camera. You know? So, the struggle streaming attorney basically was telling Kevin Samuels' followers that are now his subscribers to go do his evil work in terms of trying to silence other YouTubers. Now, for all you fans that are of Kevin Samuels, has Kevin Samuels ever told you to go do stuff like that? He never told you to do stuff like that. So why is this attorney that is supposed to be an injury attorney or some sort of injury type attorney, the only one who is injured is him, his pride and ego. Right? His pride and ego is injured. That's why he keep on being concerned with content creators. So the funeral was open to the public. The address allegedly may have been given because the struggle streaming attorney gave you the church, right? But he left out a lot of information because he was trying to get super chats with that live stream. Believe it or not. But it didn't work because I already done put people on game. Other content creators already put people up on game. You know what I mean? So they already knew what he was doing and they warned the people. He's gonna try to get another money grab out of you. He only made like $150 something. So he never really gave you no info of the address. He just gave you the church name and said it's gonna be, I think at 11 a.m. or something along those lines, right? So people really didn't get all the info. But what I'm hearing from the grapevine is that another guy named Jeff allegedly gave the info. So it could be a possibility that the address was already done given. But think about this. All of this information was given at the last second in terms of where the church location is. Now, why would the struggle streaming attorney give people this type of information at the last second? Sounds a little fishy, right? And why nobody is talking about the woman that was with Kevin Samuels? Why the woman that was with Kevin Samuels not in attendance at the funeral? Allegedly. Why she wasn't by the casket crying? She was crying when he was at the apartment, right? Right? Y'all remember that call, and we're gonna have to revisit that phone call, fam. We're gonna have to revisit the phone call of the 911 phone call with the woman that was with Kevin. A lot of you, and I apologize publicly because I remember there were some people trying to get my attention about something and I wasn't listening. I hear you now. During that phone call, the 911 phone call, the woman was talking to somebody else. Y'all need to revisit that phone call. Something was going on. I believe, this is just me, my opinion, my thoughts. I believe someone else was allegedly in that apartment besides her and Kevin Samuels. Do you understand me? I believe somebody else was there. Somebody else was there because she was talking and she said something about, I'm here to give him CPR. You think I'm joking? Y'all got to go back to the tape. I re-listened to it and I heard it myself. And I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean you're there? You're only there to give him CPR. Who are you? Where she came from and who was that? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who was really there. And see, this is why you have content creators, because we're sharing the information that you folks out there in the clouds need to hear so that y'all can put the puzzle together. Because see, if more of you begin to listen to us with critical thinking, right? And not listen with your emotions because you love Kevin Samuels so much. Now think about this. You don't know that man personally. He's not your family member, but you have all of this love, right? But you weren't there at the funeral. Think about that. You didn't show up at his funeral. You show up online to come in the comment sections of YouTubers to vet your anger, but you didn't go to his funeral to pay your respects. Do you see how that worked? You're hating on Kevin. You're attacking him. You should have more respect for the dead. These are the typical things we hear. If I should have a little more respect, why are you here? If I need to move on, why are you here? Because you want to hear what I got to say. You see that? See, if more of Kevin Samuels' followers actually listen with critical thinking, you will begin to hear the truth and possibly wake up to the reality that many of us been trying to share with you. I've been making videos about Kevin Samuels when he was at 70,000 subscribers. Now, the woman he was with allegedly was not at that so-called funeral. She wasn't there. So where was she? Because the struggle streaming attorney said that that particular woman was introduced to Kevin through her brothers, who was his fans. That's what he said. Then he made another video giving an update regarding that situation, which sort of imply as if though he just made up the whole story. Which one is really true? As an attorney, you're a liar. And something is seriously wrong with you mentally. This is why you are a narcissist. Which one is it? Because the police report clearly says that she met Kevin Samuels the night before. You made a public statement claiming on your channel, on a public channel, under oath, that Kevin met that woman through her brothers because her brothers are his fans. And you said, sir, that woman, if everything would have continued, that Kevin would have more likely married her and have children. You said that on your platform publicly, and we have the receipts. Yes, indeed. We have the receipts. So if that is the case, if that's the case, that means that the woman that was with Kevin Samuels, he knew her for a long time. Allegedly. So that would mean that the woman lied on the police report. So why no one is talking about the woman that was with Kevin Samuels? Why no one's talking about that? And what's taken the autopsy results so long? Listen, fam. Listen to me. It could be that they found something and they sent it off to get more tests. And if it comes back that Kevin Samuels had something in his system, best believe that woman that was with him, they're going to be coming for her. Not only will they be coming for her, but once they get her in that what it was called? What is that word called? Interrogate? I think that's what it is. Interrogation? Am I saying it correctly? Am I saying it correctly? I don't know. Anyway, who cares, man? Once they get her into that room, she's going to talk. Because they're going to ask her, how did you meet Kevin Samuels? Who brought you together? What happened? Now remember, Kevin Samuels was into hooking up with these 1099 women. Could it be possible that the woman that was with Kevin Samuels is allegedly a 1099 woman? Could it be possible that the struggle streaming attorney introduced Kevin Samuels to that woman? Allegedly. We got to paint the picture. Because when we look at the struggle streaming attorney, he keep talking about these women overseas, and he keep playing these little video clips with these Spanish women. And not only that, remember, he gave Kevin Samuels a gift, and he was with a so-called Latina Spanish type sister, allegedly. that he's posing as a woman that he's engaged to, but yet he's still not married. What's taking you so long to marry the woman? She look good. Why you ain't marry her yet? Let me break it down a little further. See, here's the problem. A lot of times these guys, they hire women to be women that are by their sides, allegedly. And these particular women, their job is to get in to different places, to line brothers up, allegedly. Could it be possible that the struggle streaming attorney, with all of his jealousy that's deep in his art, because I could look at you in your face, fam, in your eyes, and I can see in your eye that you always wanted to be Kevin Samuels. I mean, even Super Sly brought that out. Even Super Sly brought that out in his stream. Even Super Sly brought out the same thing. When you look at the struggle streaming attorney, he looked like the type of guy that he's just envious of all the brothers. Any brother that's doing good. He envy you because you in shape. He's envying you because you got money. He's envying you just because you got talent. He will envy anything that you got. You look at him in his eyes, you could tell he's not happy. He mad. And he claim he's rich. Now, sir, how you rich, but you up on your channel talking about, hey, hit the Cash App, want to support the platform, you can send in a PayPal. But you supposed to be rich? How? How you rich? How you got bread, but you want money from people that can hardly probably pay their bills? Like, come on, fam. I mean, look at me, fam. I got the so-called, what is this, man? The Tom Ford. This stuff smells good, fam. Look, I got the so-called, the sample, fam. Look. Why? Because I'm not high value. I got to get the sample. Know what I'm saying? I walked into Macy's. Know what I'm saying? I sneaked in. I said, please, first I was acting like I'm trying to get the bottle. She was like, here's a sample. I was like, oh. Let me see. Oh, this smells good. Okay. What size bottles do you have in that corner? And while they were doing that, I put the sample in my pocket, fam. Yeah. Nah, I'm just joking about that. You know how when you buy a cologne, they give you the samples? Y'all already done know. It is what it is. But it was funny though, right? I know it was funny. Believe it or not, back in the days in the 90s, now in the 90s, oh yeah, I used to get the samples. I ain't gonna lie. Back in the days, I used to get the samples. Because we had different Macy's stores. So we would hit up, like me and my friends, we would hit up this Macy's and we would get all the samples from that one. Then we would go to the other one down the street. And then we would go to Manhattan and get the other samples. That's how we used to do it. Have a whole collection of samples, man. We'd be in school smelling mad good. All the girls used to be like, dang, y'all got all that money? We were trying to act like we were high value back in the day. Right? So what do we got? Okay, so the woman allegedly did not show up at the funeral. Kevin wasn't, hold on here. Kevin wasn't in his, what the hell did I write down here? Kevin wasn't in his, what the hell? You know when you write stuff down and you writing it fast so you don't really care about the spelling or anything? Oh, I already said that. It's something about Kevin. We don't really need to talk about that. Okay, content creators aren't his friends. We talked about that as well. Oh, Big Shirley was at the funeral. That's right. There was a woman there that was singing. We got to talk about it, fam. Now, you know, Kevin Samuels was against Big Shirley. But it's so ironic that in his passing, Big Shirley was at the funeral singing while he lay in a coffin. Do you see how life works? Fam, that man was telling black women die alone. He was mocking Big Shirley. While he lay in a coffin, allegedly, Big Shirley was singing over his body. That's crazy, right? That's crazy, fam. Oh, here's another one. Man. The mom did not speak. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I ain't hear nobody talking about it, so we got to talk about it. Now, on the Struggle Streaming Attorneys channel, there was a so-called mediocre memorial service, or whatever you want to call it, because it was all pre-recorded. Right? The mom allegedly called in. And we saw that the Struggle Streaming attorney muted her phone call so that she wasn't able to share what she had to say. Then he brought her vocal cords back in, right? But what's interesting about that, fam, at the funeral, she didn't go up to the front to speak. At least I didn't see that. And I watched it. She did not speak. Someone else got up there. And I'm going to be quite frank. Someone else got up to the podium to speak on behalf of the mom. They were reading something. And I'm being honest. I'm not being funny. Respectfully. I didn't know if that was a man or a woman that was speaking. Sounded like a woman. I don't know. You tell me, because I'm trying to figure this out. The mom wasn't up there speaking. My question is this. If the mom was speaking on the phone call at the memorial, why wasn't the mom speaking direct to the people on the podium for her son? Who and where is the mom all of a sudden? Well, Ringo, maybe she was distraught and she couldn't really speak. And so, listen, she was on a phone with the struggle streamers talking. She was talking on a phone call. They could have brought her the microphone and make her talk. But she wasn't talking. Someone else read something. Now, my question is this. Is all of this real? Because the person was literally reading what is said to be what the mom would have wanted to say regarding Kevin. But I'm trying to put this all together at her age. So you're telling me that at her age, she sat there and wrote everything down, word for word, and said, here, I want you to read this for me. Some things just don't add up, fam. I just ask the questions because I'm looking at things and certain things just don't make sense to me. I personally believe, and I said this already 1,000 times, I believe that Kevin Samuels' entire situation, I personally believe, this is my personal belief, I believe that Kevin Samuels was allegedly murdered. I believe that it was an inside job. I believe that his friends allegedly had something to do with this. And I also believe that the entire funeral was staged to make it look a certain way. You can get mad with me all you want. I have a right to my opinion because certain things just not adding up. Where was the daughter? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. According to the obituary, we see they had images popping up on the screen. You know that big screen that you see up there? You saw images of Kevin as a young guy, young kid, right? We could see that his mom was taking care of him and whatnot. He was getting gifts and presents, riding bicycles and so forth, right? But one thing we didn't see is we didn't see no updated photos at all of him and his daughter. Talk to me about that. If you're a high value man, you should have images updated with you and your daughter. It wasn't there. The only photos that you possibly saw is him with an infant child. That's many, many years ago. That's not up to date. Where are the photos of him and his daughter? That would imply he didn't really have much of a relationship with his daughter, allegedly. And you know girls don't play around. When a daughter is pissed off with a father, she would literally say, I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, straight up. They didn't show not one photo of Kevin with his daughter updated today. Like today, a few months back, or at least 1 or 2 years ago, nothing. Now you tell me, if you're a father, I'm talking about an active father in your daughter's life. You're actively in your daughter's life. You should have photos, videos, something, birthday parties. Come on, a birthday? You don't have a photo with your daughter? I mean, what's this lady, the so-called fake locks? The so-called lady with the plastic face. Didn't she say the other day that Kevin took her to some store to shop or something like that? So let me get this straight. You could take a woman to go shop, but you ain't take your daughter to go shop? I'm just asking questions. Did Kevin Samuels have a relationship with his daughter? Why his daughter wasn't there? I didn't see no daughter. Not during the live stream. I didn't see nobody there. And if she was there, allegedly, why she didn't give a speech about her father? When a child loved their father and their father is gone, she's gonna share her thoughts about her daddy. She's gonna go up there to that podium and she's gonna cry. And it's rightfully so. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't see that happening. Somebody got to talk to me. I'm just trying to figure this out. What's going on? What's happening? Think about what I just said there. His daughter, his own flesh and blood, was not at that podium talking regarding her father. This is Kevin Samuels' funeral. The so-called YouTube godfather that y'all praise. His own daughter was not speaking about him at all. That's crazy. You don't see a problem with that? Look at that place. It's empty. George Floyd had an extremely large turnout of people. And we're talking about a guy that had a massive criminal history, all sorts of crazy stuff, but he was worshiped and praised all throughout the community. The Black Lives Matter used him to get rich, right? But yet, the YouTube sensation, Kevin Samuels, 1.5 million subscribers. But nobody's in the church. Wow. Look, it's empty. We're talking about Kevin Samuels. Every seat in there should have been filled. Every seat in there should have been filled. Every single seat in that place should have been filled. Every seat in that house should have been filled. You know, on a normal church service day, the house be packed. At least that's how it used to be back in the day. But we're talking about the Godfather. The church is empty. Don't tell me people didn't live in that city. Don't tell me people couldn't drive in. Don't tell me nobody couldn't fly in. All these content creators all over YouTube that claim that they were Kevin Samuels' friends did not show up. All these people who claim they're millionaires, that claim they're rich, that claim they got money. All they talk about is how much money they got. But they couldn't get on a flight. See, I'm not Kevin Samuels' friend. You know what I'm saying? But what's interesting about this is you would think that with all the work I'm doing, it's sort of like I'm like a friend because I'm doing all this work. Do you see how that is? This is crazy. Like, I'm doing all of this work trying to show and put the pieces together for you fans of Kevin Samuels so that y'all can see what's going on. The people that claim they're his friends, they're not his friends. They were not there at his funeral. You only had one guy that was there, and all he had to talk about is so-called business. You're talking about business, fam? Let me tell you something, man. You talking about business when a man is dead. You're talking about work ethic concerning a man that's dead. You never knew that man. You never knew him personally. You didn't. You were focused on business. You were only there because the money train ended. You had the nerve to go up there and talk about business. You know, when Kevin Sam, he was about business and, I'm saying, work ethic and, he said this and you ain't talk about him. You ain't talk about the man, Kevin Samuels. You never talked about what he really meant to you. You never talked about, okay, when you used to go fishing with him or when you used to go mountain climbing or when you did this and when you did that and, how you met the family and, how you was at the picnic and the barbecue and, how, you didn't talk about nothing tangible. You were not his friend. You went there for the photo op. You went there because you knew it was going to be streamed on YouTube and you didn't want the guilt because you knew if the people see no one there, they're going to be questioning everybody. You thought that if you be there, that you're going to look good. Actually, you're looking bad. You know why? You were the only one there. So now you're going to use the fact that you were there to get your clout up. You see that? You see how that worked? Where was everybody else? Why you didn't call everybody else? What's the matter? You not cool with everybody else? Why you didn't call MTR? Yo, MTR, why you weren't there, fam? Why you weren't there? You went and meet up with Kevin Samuels to do walking around in the street, doing videos with people, right? It was okay to do that, right? You took that plane to go do that, right? So let me get this straight. You did that. I don't know if you took a plane or you were in the same city you live, but you did what you had to do to link up with Kevin Samuels, right? But when it comes to his death, somehow you're not available. Now that the man is gone, no one see any value now. What happened to high value? What happened to high value? Where was so-called all these guys that was giving Kevin Samuels super chats every night? $500, $500, $500. Where was all those guys? What's going on? Where's all the content creators? Where are all the content creators that made so-called, what do you call these videos, man? These testimonial type videos. Where were all y'all? Why y'all didn't go? Why weren't y'all there to pay y'all respects? None of y'all were there. Where was the woman with the locks, the plastic face? Where was she? Talking about how, Kevin, Kevin, he didn't want to reveal that, we were friends and, my friend. Why you weren't over the casket crying? Why? Where were you? You were a no-show. You had all of that talk to say in your videos. about how you're calling to see if he passed away. You calling all these different people, but you didn't call the mom, right? But you weren't at his funeral. Now, what are you going to tell your fans? What are you going to tell the people that are subscribed to you when they come to you and they ask you, why weren't you there? Why? And if you were there, why you didn't go up and give some words of encouragement for the family? Kevin Samuels' passing proved and taught us something. That a lot of these people on YouTube are fake. And it confirms everything I've been saying for years. A lot of you content creators are fake. You should never trust these particular people, fam. These people ain't no good, man. They did this man dirty, fam. Dirty. I'm talking about they did him super dirty. We're talking about a guy that showed them how to walk. They gained notoriety off of this guy. They made money off of this guy. This guy mostly taught them certain things concerning business. And none of them showed up for his funeral. That's cold, man. That's like cold-hearted, fam. Shout out to Tales from the Cult again for the super chat. Said, facts, keep up the good work. They set him up and were no shows at his funeral. They had no personal relationship, just YouTube business to get that bag. Wow. And I personally believe that allegedly his friends set him up. Yeah, I said it. I personally believe that Kevin Samuels' YouTube friends allegedly set him up, and that's why he's not here. You could take that one to the bank. Because now that he's gone, y'all can all shine now. Now that he's gone, y'all can all shine. And the business plan about what Kevin was planning on doing, my question to the struggle streaming attorney is, do you have that business plan? Because we hear you talking about how Kevin Samuels had plans on how to make hundreds of millions of dollars outside of YouTube. So what is it you know? What is it you know? Because lately I've been seeing your posts and you've been telling everybody, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want to work with content creators. He has sent me your email. The same content creators you're harassing is the same content creators you're asking them to send you their email so you could do business with them. Why would someone do business with a so-called snake? Why? What's really going on? Did you do it? Did you do it, sir? Is your guilt bothering you? Did you do it? Did you? I wonder if you did it. Don't move too much. We may not know it's you. But my personal opinion is that you, sir, Mr. Struggle Streaming Attorney, the man who sinned, my personal belief is that you, allegedly, is the mastermind behind the passing of Kevin Samuels. I believe in my core of my heart that you allegedly had something seriously to do with this man's passing. Because I've never seen anybody claim they are a friend and don't even show up to the man's funeral. And to add insult to injury, sir, while Kevin Samuels' funeral is going on, rather than you focus on the family, you're busy arguing with people on YouTube and trying to figure out ways to get Kevin Samuels fans to attack bloggers and YouTubers. And to add more insult to injury, you made a live stream continually talking about how, according to your books, you are running strategy on how to get the people to focus on you rather than focusing on Kevin. And while you're doing that, you're telling the people to go to Amazon and order your books. You were doing that. You, sir, are a disgrace. You were using Kevin Samuels' name and his likeness to sell books on the day of his funeral. You were not mourning. You were not crying. You were telling everybody about the kind of books you sell. You weren't telling them to support Kevin Samuels' family. You were focused on selling books. You were focused on super chats. You were focused on cash apps. You're not a friend of Kevin Samuels. Never was, never will be. You look like the type of guy that always been jealous of Kevin. I can see it in your heart. You've always been immature, insecure, feeling inadequacies, not sure of yourself. You've been like that your whole life. You've been fighting your whole life trying to prove yourself, unable to pick up women, unable to really enjoy. You failed at everything. But when you saw Kevin, you saw a man come up from the ashes and was able to be successful. And you felt you can do better. And when Kevin Samuels must have showed you the mountaintop, and he showed you great heights of YouTube and all of the money-making opportunities that he was going to possibly get involved in, you saw that you saw it. And your eyes got red. Your eyes got red hot. And I personally believe that you allegedly plotted against that man. It's going to come out. You might be hiding right now, but the feds and all these different people that are around, trust and believe, they're watching my live show right now. You content creators didn't know that the feds watch you? You didn't know that? CIA, y'all didn't know that? They watch content creators. Trust and believe. They're taking notes and they're clapping at the same time. They're taking notes of the live streams that I'm doing. They're taking notes from the live streams that other content creators are doing. And they're taking notes. They're writing everything down. When the toxicology results come in, autopsy, probably already done came in. That's why it's taking so long. And when they reveal what's going on, oh yeah, you folks, we're gonna hear about it. And boy, when the truth comes out, you better hope that your so-called colleagues don't talk. Because if I was a betting man, I would put all my money on the fact that you, sir, allegedly had something to do with that man's passing. Because I know that media tutorials, nah, I don't see that man doing anything. And you know what's so interesting about this? If you just look at the other guys, they all distance themselves. If you look at what's going on, tutorials distance himself, the lead distance himself. He's still there, but he kind of stepped away. You don't see the lead going back and forth with content creators. You don't see him wasting his time doing none of that nonsense. You don't see MTR going back and forth with content creators and none of that mess. He might say a little stupid stuff here and there, whatever, because I'm not cool with none of those guys. But at the end of the day, I keep my eyes open to what's going on in these streets. I don't see them doing what you're doing. You're doing too much. And it's standing out. And normally when someone's guilty of allegedly doing something, they do too much. That's how people get caught. You're doing too much. You're creating a trail. Post after post after post, your whole community guideline, your whole community section, post after post after post, anything that had to do with Kevin's name, you keep pushing. Why? Because you're trying to keep yourself relevant by constantly talking about Kevin Samuels' name. That is what you're doing. You are the ultimate clout chaser. The ultimate. Facts, man. Every post He recently posted something with some white guy. Some white guy was talking about something. He didn't even say nothing really much about Kevin. But he posted that in his community section. I'm like, fam, you got too much time on your hand. There is no way you could be an attorney. Because if you was, you would be trying to heal your heart. Your heart is filled. And you know what's so sad, fam? And I'm going to tell you straight up and down, man. You got people in this world that will take you out because they're jealous of you. And then once they take you out, the plan that they had, it don't work. It's like they plan to take you out to get that money, but for whatever reason, they took you out, but the plan is not really, it's not working the way they thought it was going to work. So they're like, it's sort of like the movie Heat, when Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and the other guys, when the guys robbed the bank and they had the money and you're running with the bag of money and the guy picked up the little girl. Remember that scene? He picked up the little girl and he started shooting, but Al Pacino, he had the gun. They didn't see him. And he shot him right in his head. Boom. The point I'm trying to make, he had the bag of money. He thought he was going to get away with it, but he didn't get away. He lost his life. A lot of times people do things, they take a brother out because their focus was greed. And for whatever reason, they're unable to make that money the way they want. And it's frustrating them. Could that be why you trying to link up with other content creators? Could it be that you allegedly stole Kevin Samuel's business plan and opportunity, and you figured out how Kevin was going to do it, and you allegedly stole the man's strategy, and now you're trying to fulfill it, allegedly? Why none of the wives showed up at the so-called funeral? Why none of the wives, none of the exes, nobody showed up? Where they at? Why they didn't go to the podium to speak on behalf of their ex-husband? Where they at? Why the daughter was not up there talking about her father? Why she didn't talk about how much of a greater father he was, how he was there for her, how he cared for her, how he was, he went to her prom, or he went this place and he did that. Why we did not see the daughter? Why? Why we didn't see the daughter? Why she was not there talking about the love of her father? Where was she? Why the daughter was not there? Why the daughter was not there to talk about her father and whom she should love? Why? Why she didn't go up to the front to talk? Why? I'm just asking questions. I just want to know why. Where was she? Where was the daughter? Why the mom didn't speak? Why she let someone else read something? Where was she? Was she even in attendance? I want to know. Think about that. What's going on? We're talking about his daughter, fam. Let's just be real. We're talking about his daughter. Your children are supposed to naturally have love for you if you pass away, fam. They should be crying. Especially if you have a daughter. Why his daughter wasn't up there talking? All they showed was Kevin with what appears to be a baby, a toddler, whatever the case is. That's many years ago. That's not recent. That would imply that Kevin allegedly had no relationship with his daughter. That's a sad way to go out. Don't get mad with me. I'm just asking questions. If he had a relationship with his daughter, surely she would have a selfie with her father. And for the family to claim that, because It's alleged that the mom said, and matter of fact, I don't even want to say alleged because it's clearly on the phone call that was on the memorial that's on the Struggle Streamers platform, where they asked the mom, so you didn't know your son was famous? And she was like, nah, I didn't know. I still don't believe it. How could your own mother not know you're famous? Better yet, your own daughter. Your daughter would know you're famous. And she would tell your mom. So the question is, where is the daughter? Where is the mom? Do these people even exist? I'm just asking questions. I want to know, because this ain't making sense. Where are the ex-wives? Why the ex-wives didn't show up? Why he had a closed casket? Was something wrong with his face? If he's dressed in a suit, and according to Paperwork Party Network, they made a phone call to the church. If you go to their platform, you'll hear the phone call. The woman said he looks good in his suit. He's at peace. So if that's the case, why a closed casket? What's going on? What's going on? But I'm the bad guy, right? I'm the bad guy for asking questions. I'm just a horrible person because I want to know. No, if you're a Kevin Samuels follower, a Kevin Samuels supporter, you should want to know these answers. You should want to know, was there foul play in Kevin Samuels' demise? You should want to know that. Why is everybody trying to just brush it under the rug and go back to business as usual? That's sad. This man was known all over the world, all over social media. If not the world, social media. Kevin Samuels was known all over social media. He had over 1 million supporters on Instagram. So we're not just talking about YouTube success, we're also talking about Instagram success. Not only that, he was also on TikTok. So now put all of that together. This man had millions of followers all across the globe, in all different countries. But yet nobody really attended his funeral. That's sad. That's sad, fam. That is crazy. That's crazy, fam. You don't see nothing wrong with that? You don't see anything wrong with that? That's a problem, man. That is a major problem. That's a major, major problem. To have all of those followers, and yet George Floyd got a better funeral than Kevin Samuels. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy, man. I'm gonna take a little break. I'll be back in a second. Y'all just sit tight and chill out, right? Be back in a second. Let's go.
Luna. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Con dinero. Money work. Yo
digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción, yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero, yeah, yeah. Money work, se arregla con dinero, yeah. Money work, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón, de corazón. Yeah. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero, yeah. Money work. Lunes, lunático.
Wow. Isn't that crazy, fam? This man, millions of followers, but look at the church. I want to know, this should be a lesson to everybody that's viewing this stream right now. This should be a lesson. What does it profit you to gain the whole world and lose your soul? What does it profit you to gain the whole world and lose your soul? I'm talking about money, cars, riches. It's been said that this man had nice cars and all this other stuff. I already done saw all the videos circulating that the man couldn't, it didn't say he couldn't pay something. Some video that's circulating. We'll get into that another time. I don't want to talk about that now. It said that the man had a lot of material things, suits, shoes, cologne collections. I want to know, who gained possession of that? Did somebody else go up in his crib and take it? What's really going on? What happened to all his suits? What happened to all the clothes? What happened to all the watches? Did someone else go up in his apartment and literally cleaned out the house? Allegedly. What's really going on? Talk to me. I want to know. I want to know what went on. Who was in that house? Because after that woman left that house, the police didn't take her and put her in custody and question her. So how do we know she didn't allegedly steal something from that house? How do we know she ain't allow somebody else to come up in that house and allegedly clean out that house and then made the phone call to the so-called people about the emergency, fam? But see, I'm the bad guy because I ask questions, man. Why is it that when you ask questions, you're always labeled the bad guy? Why wasn't the woman that was with Kevin at the funeral crying on the casket? Why she wasn't there crying the way she was in the house when she was talking to the dispatchers? Why she wasn't on the casket saying, "I'm sorry," and crying? Somebody tell me why that church is empty. Why? Man, this is sad, man. Closed casket. I saw somebody's comment earlier. I don't know exactly who said it, but somebody said something that somebody said that is, he wasn't looking well, allegedly, and they closed the casket. Well, how is that possible? What really happened to him? That we need to know what happened to him. What happened? Because I've been to multiple funerals. I already done know how the process go. I know how people look. I already done know. Ain't nothing new to me when it comes to a funeral. I've been there, done that, seen all of that already. You understand? When you have a closed casket, a lot of times something went wrong with you. And they don't want nobody to see you. So it kind of leads me to believe that allegedly, maybe he wasn't in that casket. And I have a right to believe that because it was a closed casket. So how do we know he was there if they kept the casket closed the whole time? You ain't see nobody going up there to look, to touch the body, to do. I mean, come on. That didn't appear to be a funeral, man. At a funeral? You never been to a funeral? You don't know what funerals are like? That did not appear to be a funeral, man. It was like if, let's just stream this thing live. Hopefully the people will believe that it's a funeral and we could all go about our business as usual. I've been to multiple funerals, fam. That was not a funeral in my humble opinion. That did not seem like a real funeral. It did not have all of the details of what goes on at a real funeral. You understand? It wasn't, I didn't see anything there. Where was all his family? We only saw a few people stand up there to speak. Where was Kevin Samuels' family to speak? The only one that I saw speaking was Jeff, Anton, some other dude, somebody spoke for the mom. You had some other lady speaking. I saw a lady singing. Then you had the preacher. I don't got time to listen to him. I ain't want to hear nothing he had to say. Y'all already done know how I feel about these pulpit pimping preachers and these so-called churches, these houses of Satan. Y'all already done know how I feel about it. Because the Most High is not over there. You know what I mean? Most High is in your heart, fam. That's where the Most High is. He ain't in no building. Right? So now, where was Kevin Samuels' family to talk to him, to talk about him in that house? Where was his family? I'm talking about his family. Y'all want to talk about how the funeral was private for the family. Okay, where was the family? The funeral was private for the family. Okay, where was the family? The mom didn't speak. The daughter didn't speak. I ain't seen nobody talk on behalf of this man that I can say is, oh, there go 7 relatives that are of Kevin Samuels. What's going on? Where's the family? Where is the family? All I saw was people that appeared to be boule. That's all I saw. And I can tell, listen, I know how you guys are. I know y'all clique, y'all club. I know what y'all involved in. You understand? Y'all wear a certain type of clothing and it stands out. So that appeared to me, that whole entire funeral was a boule funeral, in my humble opinion. You know what I mean? A boule funeral. So again, the question remains, and I say this respectfully now. Was Kevin Samuels' funeral average at best? Because he talked about how women are average at best and they don't got no high value man and all this other stuff and they're going to die alone. My question is, was his funeral average at best? Does that look like a high value funeral? I'm talking about high value. Remember, they buried George Floyd in a gold. I'm talking about gold casket. And thousands of people showed up for a man that have an extensive criminal history, held a woman at gunpoint, all sorts of stuff, a man that was not a good man, but people worshiped and praised him, and he had a better funeral than Kevin Samuels. And Kevin Samuels was online, had millions of followers, and yet he didn't even have that. This is sad. Listen, people that are poor have better funerals than this. Do you understand me? Listen, people that are poor have better funerals than this. I don't know if the stream reset it or something like that. If everything is good, put a 1 in the chat and let me know if everything is good on y'all end. because it just reset it on my computer for whatever reason. I probably have too many windows open or whatnot. I mean, I'm going to shut it down in a minute. But yeah, this is crazy, fam. I really don't know what else to say on this, man. But what I will say is that YouTubers are not your friend. They're not your friends. Kevin Samuels had no friends. Kevin Samuels died alone. It's unfortunate. And again, I'm one of Kevin Samuels' detractors and critics. I've been this way for 3 years. I've talked about many things concerning Kevin Samuels to show the public the things that I didn't agree with. And I gave him many warnings about changing his ways. And based on what we can see and learn from Kevin Samuels' death is that the people that claim they're your friends in life, they're really not your friends. They're not your friends. They are associates. These people will forget about you right after you die. So my suggestion is that if you are alive amongst the living, focus on what you do as a person. Focus on your goals and your dreams, and don't put too much investment in people that are really not supportive of you. If people only want to be around you because you can help with their career, or you can somehow, help them to get money, those people are not your friends. They're just there because you can help elevate their bottom line. So they're going to only be around you because they know they can gain something. The minute people feel like they're not able to gain anything, they're going to leave you. So that is what we could take away from Kevin Samuels' death, is that his friends that's on YouTube right now, they didn't show up for his funeral. These are people who claim that they're rich. These people claim that they're millionaires. These people claim that they're high value, but they didn't show up for this man's funeral. Kevin Samuels talked about having a network of high value men, that you have to be useful to the group. In Kevin Samuels' death, his own group wasn't there for him. His own group was not there for him. That's sad, man. That's crazy. Anyway, y'all, we're gonna get up on out of here. Be careful in these YouTube streets with these content creators, and make it be known, fam. Listen to me carefully. All of those content creators that y'all heard over the past few weeks that talked about their Kevin Samuels friends and they love him and he means everything to him, those people did not show up to his funeral. If you're still supporting those people when it's evident that they didn't even pay their respects, you got a serious problem. That's crazy, man. We're gonna sign out, fam. I'll catch you on the next stream. I may go live again later on tonight, so look out for that. But we had to cover this particular story. Again, shout out to all the content creators that have been putting in work regarding this particular issue. Keep putting in that work, fam. Keep doing what you gotta do. So, y'all already done know what it is, man. We're gonna get up on out of here. And that's about it, man. Appreciate everybody coming out to the stream. Make sure y'all get the likes up on the video. Appreciate everybody coming out. And that's about it, fam. So y'all take care. We're gonna get up on out of here and do what we gotta do, man. So it is what it is, man. Be careful in these streets, fam. It's Blackmail Advice TV. You already done know what it is, man. Let's get them likes up. The best channel on YouTube, hands down. You already done know what it is. Blackmail Advice TV. That's right. Bringing truth. Bringing that real black male advice TV. Advice TV, bringing you the best content on YouTube. Y'all take care out there. It's Black Male Advice TV. You already done know what it is. I'll catch you in the next stream. We out, fam. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out.